just before we got Scott back was the game management, too much tinkering from Pep. But one thing which he didn't tinker with much was the substitutions in this game. At half-time, I said 5 could be made. De Bruyne went off moments after the second half commenced. That was an enforced change. The only other one we saw was Gundogan coming on for Ferran Torres. But look at the bench. Mahrez was sat there. Bernardo Silva sat there. Even your old mate Kyle Walker could have come on and made a difference in terms of attacking width. Are you surprised that Pep opted to not really do much in that sense?
Yeah, I think I'm very surprised. I think, especially looking at that list, Mahrez, at least, I thought he could have come on and changed this game and added a bit of impetus to the Man City attack. But again, it goes back to what I was saying, that maybe the priority for Pep Guardiola is having those players fresh for not only Wednesday, but the cup final on the weekend. And this game, yes, he wanted to win it, but he wanted to win it with a rotated side. And he fully trusted that side that he did put out. He fully trusted them for the whole of the 90 minutes.
Scott, what did you make of the selection today? Now, for those who are unaware of City's fixtures, it is Aston Villa in midweek, but it was Chelsea today. It was the FA Cup semi-final. It was a chance to make history with the quadruple, and they still have a lead in the Premier League title race. Then, next weekend, they've got the League Cup final against Spurs, after which it's the Champions League semi-final. Do you reckon he could have made a stronger selection today based on the form of the players, based on what we saw in the Champions League at least, Scott?
I think you've hit the nail on the head there. You look at the team that he picked today and you have to say, look, it's still strong. And is it good enough to go and win the game? Yes, it is. But it's about picking the form players. Now, Aston Villa, what's the bigger game? Aston Villa in the Premier League or Chelsea in the FA Cup and Spurs in the Carabao Cup final? Play your strongest team with the players in form today. Make the rotation, make the rests for the midweek game against Aston Villa, and then play your strongest 11 again. Now, look, I think Pep Guardiola is the best manager in the world. I really do. But I think sometimes he just overthinks things. And I think he, in the name of rotation, you've just lost. And it still could be a fantastic season, don't get me wrong. But you've lost the chance of winning a trophy. On Wednesday, even if they'd have lost the game, they would not have lost out on the chance of winning the Premier League. So, look, the best manager in the world. But for me, I think it's almost a stubbornness from him. This is actually what I'm going to do. And in terms of the substitutions or lack of, it's no, this is my plan A, and plan A will work. And it's almost like I'll die by my principles of plan A will work, which is so much to respect for. But actually, in terms of this particular game on its own, his stubbornness, I think, has basically taken Manchester City out of the FA Cup. But it's the FA Cup semi-final. You're one game away from the final. Whereas if you lose against Aston Villa, it doesn't really matter. It was a big surprise.
The only thing I'd say, Scott, I don't know if you agree, that maybe Pep Guardiola, looking at that Premier League table, 11 points clear, Man United got a game in hand. So let's say 8 points clear. If they had lost against, if they do lose against Villa on Wednesday, all of a sudden that could be only 5 points clear. And then he's sitting uneasy from a few weeks ago where the title was sewn up. I don't know if you agree, but that's the only slight thing that I think is made him nervous going into that Villa game and not wanting to rotate players for that game and rotating them for this game instead.
I understand you playing devil's advocate there, Andros, but actually I still think that team picked today would have more chance of beating Aston Villa than it would of beating Tuchel's Chelsea, because Tuchel's Chelsea is absolutely superb at the moment. I said once the quarter-final draw was made before they played Porto, and I still believe it now, that I think that Chelsea will get to the Champions League final. We'll see what happens in the final. But I believe they'll get past Real Madrid with this Tuchel side. Now, you're simply at the business end of the season. And if you are going to win the quadruple, and of course he doesn't want to talk about it, but you just want to win as many trophies as possible, you have to play your strongest side against one of the best teams in Europe. And that's what Chelsea are right now under Thomas Tuchel. And in terms of Aston Villa, play this side against Aston Villa. I still believe that would beat Aston Villa, but it wasn't good enough on the day to beat Chelsea.
Yeah, particularly an Aston Villa side that might not have Jack Grealish involved. Can we talk about the fitness of the players and is it termed going into the red zone, Andros? I'm sure that you wear the heart straps and the GPS trackers and all of that, and you want to avoid players getting into the red zone. I really don't know the specifics. I'm not a professional athlete. But when you're winning, do you really, honestly, do you feel tired if you have a game in 3-4 days' time? Do you feel like you're lethargic and struggling? Because if you're on a winning momentum, if you're going for quadruple, surely the world is your oyster, really.
I think that the cliche goes that when you're winning football match, you don't get tired, but I don't think that's correct. I think those players, Man City players, have been on a hell of a schedule for the whole season, whereas Crystal Palace, for example, we've had a load of rest. We've got no European football. When the international break comes along, we've only got a couple of players going away. Whereas these players, all of them, all 22, all 25 of them, have had a hectic schedule. And looking ahead as well, we've already spoke about Villa Wednesday, Spurs on Sunday in the Cup final, Champions League the week after that. So something had to give. The question is not playing those games in every game. The question was, which game could he rotate? And as Scott's pointed out, it was obviously turned out to be the wrong game today.
All right. Well,
I think as well, Adam, just to say on that, and Andros is right. And look, you see the team, the 11 that started, that is a very, very good 11 and good to beat almost anybody. But you have to pick your best side. But even if you didn't pick your best side, even if you picked that, what you saw at half-time, you have to make changes. Now, again, who am I to tell Pep Guardiola what to do? But, you know, one enforced change and then another one a bit later on. Really, you know, Mahrez left on the bench, Bernardo Silva left on the bench. You know, I think it's fair to question him on that, despite him being the best manager in the world.